Right, so we've got a dilemma here today. We're not saying any names in it, so we're gonna keep it anonymous. But yeah, it says, "Hey bros, I'm a huge fan of your show. It's amazing and just mwah.
Love.
The right amount of Bible, babes, and banter."
I think I know who that is actually.
Oh, friend! Oh, new friend! Oh, friend! Please be my friend! Oh, friend!
I think so.
So, the background to this is a bit long. Me and my good friend, we're mid-20s, have noticed that there's a lot of hate for black guys, like an anti-men faction. Men are trash movement.
Listen, by the way, we didn't write this one ourselves. In case
we get in trouble, bro.
Women are now saying all they need to do is look pretty. I don't have to contribute or work. Minimum amount on a date is £100, etc. on Twitter.
Chai!
So we wanted to know, why the hate for the man them? Why should girls treat man them like normal humans and not ATMs and photo props? How can black girls show more love, empathy, compassion, and respect to black men?
Hey, this is
That one is loaded, you know.
that way. Hey, you're trying to.
Say loaded.
You tried to set us up. Look, that was the setup question, bro. That's that one the wrong way.
See the wrong thing now?
Whoa.
You're dead,
Listen.
You're dead meat.
There's a second part to it still.
The second.
There's a second part to it still.
What's the second part?
No, let's answer the first bit first.
Alright, cool. So the first actual question is, so we wanted to know, why the hate for the man them? Why should girls treat man them like normal humans and not ATMs and photo props? How can black girls show more love, empathy, compassion, and respect to black men?
I share and I know that they listen to the we fishermen and they love us.
Oh, PPP.
Oh, please.
Oh, this one it was. I waited for one of you lot to say something first.
You know what it is? You know what it is? I think, obviously, coming from a Christian perspective, man, look, like, we will always, like, preach love. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Word.
Like, that will always be, like, the start and the end of what we're doing. So, I think if we're looking at how someone should treat someone else, is like, yo, it should be love, innit? You get me? And that should drive, like, your thought process, your actions, what you say to that person, how you treat that person. And I think we're talking about the empathy for black men. I guess it's probably just like, I don't know, I think in particular black men, I think it's just that kind of pressure to provide element of stuff. I guess that kind of pressure of like leading and all of that, and creating that like a safe space, like for him to like be himself or to kind of lament if need be. So yeah, that's for me still.
To be fair, you hit the nail on the head, innit? You hit the nail on the head still. There's nothing really to add like that. But yeah, the overriding thing is always going to be love, innit? With everything. So it's always just good to show love, empathy, compassion wherever you can, innit? Regardless, just in life in general. And in terms of like what did she say? The pressure? Was it precious? Did she say something about pressures?
About what?
About pressures or something like that?
No, but empathy. How to like empathy?
Oh,
love,
empathy.
compassion.
Maybe just understand that everybody's still trying to figure things out, and I guess the, like you said, you mentioned the provider thing. That's a big thing in it, and then you in the dilemma as well. She mentioned like spending a certain amount on dates and stuff like that, and so that's obviously a narrative or a thing that is kind of like that we hear a lot in it. Just as guys in it, that you have to provide, you have to be X, Y, Z in order for you to be able to get a certain type of woman and whatnot. But just understanding that everybody isn't always going to be there immediately.
I'm working up, I'm getting better. I got just getting better one time. I have to step up.
And people are kind of like striving to, I guess, be able to do that, innit? And I think we want to do that. And the aim is always to kind of to look after, to be able to take care and whatnot, innit? So if somebody doesn't have that at the moment, it's always kind of the aim for that to be, that's the end goal, and ultimately. So I think just trying to understand that a bit more, really.
Yeah. On a more simpler note, if you ain't got a reason to hate black men, They just don't.
God have mercy upon us.
I think even like the whole like hating black men in general.
It's just mad, isn't it?
I think the concept in it is kind of mad, and I don't think that's to say that we don't definitely understand that.
Yeah.
You get me? The way like men like in general have been oppressive over time. You get me?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
100%, and that's fully acknowledged in it. But for that hate, it's just something you just shouldn't carry, man. In general,
Yeah, word.
You get me? And I feel like again, the Christian belief is that it's love that's kind of the solution, and not love being the solution in that like it's fairy dust and like it's candles and flowers and that. But I think love in terms of like even when you're rebuking someone or like having a mad conversation, like telling someone you're moving mad, or it's love that's driving it because ultimately you want change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even hating, just kind of hating your heart, man, it's just it's gonna roll. It's gonna rot from the inside, bro.
Yep. All right, and her second point is, so my friend, her dad, and myself have noticed a lot of black guys are lost. No direction, no focus, no life goals, just in a void of unknown and uncertainty.
Bro, what's going on?
So it sounds like you're writing a book.
What's going on?
But yet, they are still chasing girls, almost obsessed. Whereas black women are starting to pattern their mental health, go to therapy, focusing on their walk with God, securing a degree and bag, etc. Especially this lockdown, this is now causing a mad gap between men and women.
It's a bit of a sticky one still.
Black women seem to be at a higher level than black men on average. Successful black women are outnumbering successful black men, meaning women are either single to their mid-30s or above, or settle. Why? Why is this happening to our men? Sorry, what's happening to our men?
Hey.
Why are they lost and aimless? Crap, sorry. Why aren't they stepping up and patterning their lives? My friend thinks an answer to both points is how women are brought up from young in a more stricter way, with higher expectations to achieve more and compete than guys, whereas guys are just left to do their thing. True or false?
Is that what it is?
You know what's mad here? So the whole base of that question is so opposite from the first question.
It's so loaded, isn't it?
The fact that, and this is the thing here, that narrative that like black men are like that they're not working. You know, they're not.
But do you know what it is?
I know
Don't speak from a place of. Sorry, don't speak from a place of privilege, because
man's not like that.
you're not. You might not be the correct sample size of, or the people that you know might not be the correct sample size. Because obviously the easiest answer to something like that is obviously, oh well, actually, a lot of the guys around me are successful.
No, but you know, that's not even the angle I'm coming at in that part. Like, man's not like that, other people around me not like that. It's just that, you know, like generalization.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
It's just mad harmful, and I know we know that, and I know that. Get me? The person probably didn't mean all.
Yeah,
that we know that, but I think the whole like, you know, black men are doing this.
You said the void.
They're not.
They're aimless in that.
And they're not like doing all of these things. Yeah, I feel like those generalizations are just harmful. Man. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
And I don't see where it's based off, if that makes sense. You know, when you make generalizations anyway, you have generalizations based off of like a majority view, innit? I don't see that as a majority view.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I don't know, but I don't see that as a majority. When you were saying like they're not doing stuff and that they're not being successful and stuff, like I don't really, like I don't.
Yeah, to be honest, I concur, because the what I've actually seen is more of a disparity in terms of wage gap and stuff like that. So there's men and women, not black, but men and women in general doing the same job, and then obviously there's a disparity in pay sort of thing. So that would, but if anything, that would
contradict.
That would look, yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, I think like on the general note, black women are like in terms of academics as well.
Yeah.
Like, they are further. They are further, but I think they are even further across like,
to put across everyone.
yeah, you know, I think I could be wrong though. I think
That's
I
good,
don't
man.
check, but I think they could be. Yeah, but I think in terms of that question, I think like, look, there are really good. Like, bro. You know, you got to. But I think across the board, yeah, there are really good black men, man. And I feel like we have to be careful with that narrative, man. That you know, that men are not.
You know, it is, and I think going back to like what we kind of mentioned before, in that like everybody's kind of trying to have empathy in terms of like we were talking. Well, I was talking specifically about being like successful and all of these things as well, innit? But also that things have been a certain way for a long period of time, innit? I think it's only until very recently where loads of conversations have been had about like women being treated unfairly and like man, I'm not listening and all of these sort of things as well, innit? But I think what my point is basically that a lot of men are actually starting to try and do that at the moment, innit? And just having a bit of empathy and a bit of patience with that as well, in that like there's certain things that like you might think is common sense and that like you should know certain things or whatever, you should just know, innit? But ignorance is bliss, innit? Like when you don't know, you actually don't know, innit?
This is actually answering the question because actually wasn't a question. But
What was the question? Did she say true or false?
So yeah, true or false. So she said that my friend thinks an answer to both points is how women are brought up from young in a more stricter way with higher expectations to achieve more and compete than guys, whereas guys are just left to do their thing. True or false? She said you may need a female on your podcast, and in brackets like Joy and other girls. Please.
if they bring them back,
Oh yeah, Joy and other girls.
they ain't coming back.
Gbogbo kan tẹ́ ń sọ là ń gbọ́ gbogbo kan tẹ́ ń sọ bọ̀ á kí ẹ̀ wàhálà á tẹ̀ kí ẹ̀.
People say,
But you know what it is, yeah?
I don't think
It's so funny though, because that question is so loaded.
yeah,
In terms of like, right, so she literally says, alright, notice that black guys are lost. No direction, no focus, no life goals, just
No
in a
life
void,
goals,
just in a void of unknown and uncertainty.
you know,
But yet,
they just love girls.
they're still chasing girls, almost obsessed. Whereas black women, on the other hand, are starting to pattern their mental health, go to therapy, focusing on their walk with
not in
God,
therapy.
securing the degree and the bag, etc. Especially this lockdown. It's actually mad how it's like everything that you said on one side is what the others are doing on not doing on the other side.
it's true. Like, one is drinking too much coke. That
That one
is
is
drinking
drinking water too much.
You get me?
The one is drinking water to stay in charge of their health. That's mad still.
The question is crazy. Look, I think I'm just rejecting the whole like.
Yeah, I just completely.
I think I'm rejecting the whole black men are lost and and like, you get me? I don't think.
I think a lot of people know what they want. It's just that people don't want the same things, and I think that's what people need to come to terms with. Where you might see it as lost to them, they're well in charge and know what they want to do. Do you get what I just say? Because not everyone actually subscribes to the same walk of life as we do. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I think that's one thing. And in terms of how we're brought up, I actually think we're not brought up to just do our thing. We're actually brought up more to be breadwinners, and do you know what I mean? That's the actual thing, or the cross that we carry, or the burden on our heads. You got to say the fact that we need to be the providers or the main providers in the household. So I think that's actually more about how we're brought up.
Yeah, I know what she means about like them being like a lot more strict on girls and stuff like that. But
That's normally to do with like purity, though, innit? And that's normally to do with relationships. I believe anyway, but obviously we don't know because we're not females,
Yeah.
not women.